Hello Internet Allies, how are you doing? So, as somebody who has high functioning autism and looks forward to Christmas every single year, and it can be like a grand old time, Christmas can also be quite stressful, chaotic and unpredictable for those on the spectrum. So I thought I'd kind of share some kind of tips and tricks that will help some of you guys and your families basically make the most out of Christmas and make this Christmas the best Christmas yet. So here we go. So I know it's only November, but like I feel like, you know, this list can kind of help now, because I think people are kind of starting to think about Christmas and people are starting to like build up to Christmas. You know, all the Christmas lights are on now in the town centres and stuff. So yeah, I might as well just make this video. So I think my first bit of advice about, you know, helping those on the spectrum with Christmas is to basically just try and plan out as like much as possible. So basically just try and get a bit more structure around the chaos of Christmas. So basically that can be like making plans of things to do, making to-do lists as well, and just trying to like just plan as much as you possibly can, and just kind of like just trying to break things down into like realistic tasks. So something else about being organised, you know, definitely be organised, but don't be so organised to the point where like if you deviate from the plan it stresses things out or overwhelms you. Like sometimes it's good to be a little bit flexible. So for example, sometimes in the past I've done Christmas shopping quite early, and then I end up finding something that, you know, a family member or friend might like better, and then I'm like, oh, I really wish I could get this, but I've already got this, so it kind of stresses me out sometimes. So yeah, just try to be flexible, try not to be too organised, try not to take things too seriously. So my second tip for those on the spectrum to survive Christmas is to basically write a list of presents that you'd like for Christmas, but also presents that you'd like to get other people, just so that you know what to get for each other. At least for immediate family and people you're very close to. I think this way, you know, you're less likely to be disappointed, and also, you know, it kind of gives people an idea of what you'd like, but it also gives you a better idea of like how to like plan, you know, your shopping and stuff as well. I will say, to be honest though, online shopping is an absolute godsend for like anybody on the spectrum, or just basically just like introverts in general. Shopping malls can be quite busy, crowded, especially at Christmas, stuffy as well, noisy, and just overall quite overwhelming. And really I only like, you know, shopping like, you know, in short bursts as well. A day out shopping isn't really my idea of fun, I'm not gonna lie. I just feel really tired at the end of it, and it can feel really quite stuffy, especially with this time of year where it's quite cold as well, like, and you've kind of got to like take off all your layers when you go into a shop, and then you've got to put them all back on when you leave a shop, you know, if you're kind of in a high street. If you're in a shopping mall, you know, you don't really need to wear as many layers, but it still can feel quite stuffy. So something I find quite tricky being on the spectrum when shopping with other people is spending large amounts of time going around a shop or a department in a shop that either doesn't interest me or I don't need anything from. So I'd say for those with somebody on the spectrum, don't drag them around the shops for lengthy periods of time. Try to kind of simplify and shorten your shopping if you can. This can sometimes make me feel quite bored and restless, if I'm honest, and, you know, quite impatient and kind of just kind of like wanting to move on to like another shop. I mean, I don't mind like looking around shops with other people that interest them, but, you know, I don't think I could like do it for like lengthy periods of time. My next tip is to just basically take as many breaks as you feel you need, so that, you know, you don't tire yourself out too much, you don't get too overwhelmed. You know, whether that's like coffee breaks, you know, sitting down breaks, just anything, you know, just take as many breaks as you feel you need to, and don't try to do too much at once. One of my favourite things leading up to Christmas is, you know, kind of getting involved with like the decorations and getting involved with like the creative process of Christmas. So whether that's like putting up Christmas lights, putting up the tree. And I think it's definitely important for people on the spectrum to basically feel involved with the process leading up to Christmas. But at the same time, if they don't want to be involved, then that's also fine. You know, I think it's definitely important to not force people to do anything that they're not comfortable with. So sometimes somebody on the spectrum might want to basically sit out of certain activities or like do their own thing at Christmas because, you know, they might be feeling tired, socially exhausted. I think it's definitely important to like take it easy, try to make things as like relaxed and stress-free as possible. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that like somebody on the spectrum doesn't care. It doesn't mean that they're not having fun. I think it's just sometimes they just like need a break and stuff like that. You know, I think that's definitely important to remember. This next one doesn't necessarily apply to me personally, but like I have heard about some people on the spectrum not liking their presents wrapped up because, you know, they might hate surprises and stuff. So, you know, just kind of be respectful of that. You know, if they don't want their gifts wrapped up, then that's fine. If they do want their presents wrapped up, that's also fine. I mean, I like having gifts wrapped up. I mean, sometimes it can be quite frustrating when like things are kind of like obviously like, you know, DVD box shaped or whatever. Like sometimes it can be quite easy to like guess what presents are sometimes even when they are wrapped up. But other than that, I do kind of like, you know, the presents being wrapped up because, you know, it kind of draws things out and stuff like that, and I do kind of like that kind of like element of it myself personally. But I do know that some people don't like wrapped up presents at all, but so it's kind of good to like check. And lastly, I will say this, okay? Christmas is quite chaotic and stressful sometimes, but it is definitely important to focus on the things that you do have and to remember what Christmas truly means to you. And for me, it just means a lot, you know, spending time and having lots of fun with my family, and those are the kinds of things that I remember. It's not necessarily like the stresses of Christmas, not necessarily like the build up to Christmas. It's basically just having like a really special time with the people I really care about, to be honest. And I think it is definitely important to remember the things that you do have and to remember like the positives rather than thinking of the things that you may not have. So just try to remember, like, you know, to keep positive and to basically just try and have a nice time. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. I hope you find this video somewhat useful. If you did, please give it a like, and I hope you're having a wonderful day, guys. Until next time, keep smiling. Bye.